Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this first webinar at Vidoo on how to convert up to 70% better with video ads. This webinar will be about 30 minutes, and we will go over several techniques on how to create better engagement in your campaigns, how to use video ads to make drive more traffic to your website, promote your business, promote your service, and generally create a positive impact on your advertising. We will cover some basic advertising techniques, and then we will dive into the video tool to show you how to create your own video ads really quick. And I hope you guys will find this useful. Please wait with your questions. I will give some time for Q&A at the end. If someone has a burning question, feel free to write it up in the chat. So let's dive right in. When we talk about advertising with video, first of all, you guys probably wanna know who's speaking to you. So my name is Chen, or Chen in Hebrew. I've been a post-production specialist and advertising professional for the past 20-something years, since '95. I started my career as a visual effects specialist and moved on to becoming a creative director for almost about 1,000, maybe a bit more than 1,000 video spots, both on TV and on the web. And during my pretty long career, I've seen and was a part of some magnificent wins and some glorious failures. And I hope this webinar will help you guys make the most of your advertising campaign, so I can teach you some of the lessons that I've learned during my career. So let's dive right in. So why should we use video ads? Like, why are video ads such an effective way of advertising? So if you will search YouTube, Google, or any search engine for why video advertising works better, you will find a lot of information. Each search can tell you that video ads can increase conversion by up to 70%. 96% of companies are using video in their marketing campaigns. 90% of consumers say video helped them make a purchase, etc., etc., etc. And the numbers go on and on and on. You can do a search yourself and you will see all that information. But the fact is that video just sells better. And the reason that video sells better than still images or text is there are actually several reasons why video is such an important tool in generating more revenue and making your campaigns more efficient. First of all, is that video gets more attention. Video is a very dynamic way of drawing attention to your message. It's a great medium to show movement, to show color, to show something that's dynamic and changing. And as advertisers, we want to make sure that our audience sees us. Audiences everywhere are bombarded every day with thousands of advertising messages from everywhere. And we want to make sure that our message stands out and our message becomes clear and available to our audience. And video is harder to ignore than static images, and video is such a powerful way of showing motion and showing your product, showing your service, and making sure your audience can't ignore that. And one of those reasons is a physiological reason, is that the human eye is more drawn to movement than static objects. And that movement, when you scroll through your feed or when you encounter it in a website, just draws you and pulls you in. That's why video is such a great medium to draw attention. And also, as opposed to static images, video has the dimension of time. Whereas in static images, you can only show one frame. Video allows you to show multiple frames and get more information across than just a static image or text. It also helps your brand or your product or your service speak boldly and make a better impact on your audience. Another thing about video is that video allows you to deliver a feel. It's something that's a bit difficult to explain until you see that. But when you compare a static image and a video, the video gets a feel of your brand to your audience. And sometimes that's the difference between someone making a purchase and not making a purchase. So let's talk a bit about the structure and how videos are structured, video ads. Like most ads you will see have pretty much the same basic structure. And that structure is, first of all, the eye catcher. The beginning of most ads needs to draw the attention of the viewer, as we said before. And that beginning, that eye catcher, has to be something that's colorful, and it can be funny, it can be appetizing, it can be shocking, it can be beautiful. It just needs to catch the person's eye. Just tell him, stop, there's something interesting going on. You want to stop and listen. The next part after the eye catcher is the USP, or the unique selling proposition. And that's where your business or your brand gets to differentiate yourself from the competition. This is where you say to your audience, this is what I'm selling, and this is why you should buy from me rather from someone else. And the USP has to be something that is your competitive edge, your differentiation from your competition, and this is where your brand speaks. And the last part, after I caught the attention of my audience and I delivered my message, the last part is the call to action, the CTA, and that's where I tell my audience, okay, that's me, this is my product, this is why you should buy it. Now, what do you have to do in order to do that, to buy the product, to buy the service? And that call to action has to be very straightforward, very easy to accomplish. If it's a call now, buy now, visit the website, sign up for a whatever, the call to action has to be very clear to the audience. These three segments are prevalent, I think, in 90% of all ads you will see, both in television and on digital media. A few tricks on how to create better video marketing, and we will dive into the system in a few minutes, and you will actually see me actually utilizing these tips, but I just want to go over them before. And the first part is less is more. Because of the time dimension I mentioned before, since video has a short amount of time that each frame is presented, you need to use less words in each frame in order for that message to become easy to read and easy to understand. The less words you use, the better. And you will see that if you use too many words and you try to cram too many messages into one frame, people will just not read them and just lose you. Another thing about advertising is that you want to sell a fantasy. You don't want to sell real life. That's why advertising uses sometimes unrealistically attractive people, attractive locations. That's all fine. Those are just tools for you to make your message come across. When you're advertising something, you're selling a fantasy. You're selling something that's bigger than life, better than life. You're trying to sell your client the fantasy of how his or her life is going to improve when using your product or service. So when you are creating your ad, think about how you can create a fantasy that's something that's great. And we will see a great example for that in a minute. Another thing about videos is using the right footage. Now, a lot of people that we talk to are very concerned that they don't have good footage to use in their campaigns. In Vidoo, we solve that problem because we have a huge media bank of many great footages. But you need to take into account when selecting footage, and we will do that together in a few minutes, that you need to find something that is colorful and appetizing and enticing and interesting. And you need to, for example, if you're selling plumbing services, I wouldn't use footage of rusty pipes. I would probably use some kids playing in a water hydrant or something like that. I would not we always try to find the footage that would create some illusion of something that's great, that's good. Another trick that we use in advertising a lot is using numbers. Numbers are usually easier for the eye to read, and using more numbers in your message would probably come across better than many words. Try to use 50% off, 100% better. Use numbers, and I'm talking about digits, not writing numbers in words. That's not good. Use numbers to convey your message better. And last but not least, when you're doing a sale, always limit time. Never say that the sale is forever. Always say this deal is for 24 hours, for 5 minutes, for 1 day, for 5 hours. I don't know. Just make sure that your client has a sense of urgency that he needs to complete the sale now. If you think your client will remember your message tomorrow, you're wrong. You need to make sure that your client buys or orders or calls or whatever now. That's very important. Now, when we talk about doing video production, you have pretty much two options. One option is going the traditional path, and the traditional path is a great path, but usually it's unrealistic for most companies. The traditional video production pipeline allows you to do something that's very tailor-made, very flexible, very tailor-made for your needs, for your brand, or for your product. But the pitfall of the traditional way is that the production process is very long, it's very complicated, and extremely expensive. And that's usually overkill for most of the companies, because I think 90% of the companies in the world are small and medium businesses, and they cannot afford the price of actually going for a full-scale production. Moreover, when you're doing digital campaigns, you can't wait for weeks and weeks over just if you want to promote something online. You want to make sure that you can be quick on your feet and create your next campaign really quickly. And that's why Vidoo is such a powerful tool, because it allows you to create video ads so quickly and so easily that anybody can do it. It's very cost effective, and you get everything included inside. So you don't need to go out and shoot in the sun. You don't need to pay directors, etc., etc. You just need to go online and use the system. Now, when creating a video ad with Vidoo, you have four main steps. The first step is selecting a creative from our creative library, and we will do that together in a minute. The second stage is selecting which size and which style you want to use for your video. If you want to use a square size, for example, because a lot of, and we'll discuss this in a minute, a lot of video campaigns run on mobile devices. People consume social media on mobile devices mostly, and sometimes you would want a widescreen format, sometimes you would want square format, etc. The third stage is customizing your creative, and we will do that together in a minute. And the last stage is exporting it and downloading your final file to be able to use anywhere. So without further ado, let's dive right into our system. Let me just go to the system. I hope everybody can see my screen. And when you go into the Vidoo system, you first thing you see is Vidoo, the Creative Gallery. And the Creative Gallery you can browse either by the categories or the industries. You can go for holidays and events. You can find gifts, or you can just you can browse the main page, or you can just search freely here in the search box. For this demonstration, let's go. Since it's the end of the summer and everybody's going to be missing their swimming pools, I think we can do a video ad for a pool company, for a pool construction company. So let's start with the industries and go to home and garden and see what we have there. Okay, so in home and garden, you can see I have many creatives for home-related industries, from babies to cleaning supplies, pet supplies, plumbers, gardening, etc., etc. Let's try and focus on this construction creative and turn it into a pool company. I think it would be a good example for how you can take any creative in Vidoo and turn it into something completely different. So I'll go ahead and click on this creative, and then I am presented with the video editor. So let's go ahead and see this creative. I'll just mute the audio so it won't interfere. So we have these two construction guys, some creative, the USP of the company, and some call to action, and at the end, another call to action and some more information. So let's take this interesting creative and turn it into something completely different. And I think we will start with the footage. Let's go ahead and change the footage of these construction workers into something that is pool related. We said we're going to do a pool company, so let's do that. I will go ahead and click on this footage and click change. In the change, after clicking change, I will go to the free category, and I'll select, let's say, like a swimming pool related footage. I think this girl drinking a cocktail is a great example. Just go ahead and click on that. And now I have a new footage, but the text is still wrong. So let's go ahead and type our creative here. Let's say, I don't know, this could be you. Yep. This could be you. We'll go ahead and click play and go to the next frame. This could be you, and let's say for under $100 a month. Okay, so this is our eye catcher. We have a girl drinking a cocktail. It's something that looks very, very nice and interesting. This could be you. That would catch me. If I would be a viewer of this campaign, this imagery would catch me and say, this could be me. Okay. How so? For $100 a month. Okay, you see I'm using the numbers technique here, and that's something that should catch something that should catch the attention of my audience. I'll go ahead and move forward in time, and let's put our product and our message here. First, I will change the image. You see this small image icon here. I will change that image, and I will upload. Let's say I'm a pool construction guy. I have images of pools on my computer. I'll just upload something here. I'll just go ahead to the upload tab, click upload, and I have an image here on my computer, which I'm uploading now. Okay, it's uploaded. I'll select it and click done, and I have a nice image of a pool. I'll just take this image a bit down so it would fit better. Okay, and instead, let's say we want to sell pools, right? So let's say in-ground pools. And we'll put something here for our USP. Installation included, starting at $100 per month. Typo here. Okay, so let's make this a bit bigger. And for the call to action, I will change this to call now. I won't put the phone number here. I'll put that in the end, but I just want to make sure that my clients know what to do next. Let's move forward here and go to the last frame. There's another footage here. Let's change that footage into another swimming pool video. Let's see what else we have. I think this one is maybe this one. This one's a nice video. Okay, I'll take this, and I will say, let's change the logo here. I have prepared my own nice little logo. Let's go ahead and upload it from my computer. We have a new business called Chen's Pools. Okay, I like that. I'll maybe even make it a bit bigger because every client wants his logo a bit bigger every time. Okay, that's good. Now let's put my slogan here, best pools on earth. Yeah. And for my CTA, I will change this to call now. Change the number to, let's say, 1-800 pools. And let's, I will keep the address the same. It doesn't really matter for now. Now, before I finish the creative, before I finish the video, you see that the orange here is not very fitting to a swimming pool creative. So going to the settings here, I will change this orange color to something that would be more bluish. That would probably work better with my logo. Yeah, I think I like this. And you know what? I think I will change this text into something something white. Might be easier to read on this background. Yeah. Okay, so we're all done. We have a great creative, a great video ad that's ready for any pool creation company. We have a great, great visual, good concise message, and a great call to action. So now we can finalize our video ad. Click download, and clicking on export, I will create my MP4 file that I can go ahead and use everywhere. And that is pretty much it. I will just go ahead and cancel this because we don't really need the file. Now, we've gone over all the 4 sections of creating a great video ad here. And I'm now ready to get some questions from our audience. You can go and click the Q&A tab on your application, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys might have. So go ahead and ask away. Okay, we have one question. What is the importance of soundtrack or narration? What is the best duration for video ads on Facebook? Should I advertise more than one product or service in a video ad? And I have another question. Is the library going to expand in the future? Okay, let me answer all of these questions now. So first of all, we have one question. What is the importance of a soundtrack or narration? I think the statistics go against audio, and especially online. If we're talking about social media or online video, I think 95% of videos are on mute. So I wouldn't invest heavily in sound or use narration as a part of my message, because most of people watch videos without audio. Second question is, what is the best duration for video ads on Facebook? I would probably say that the shorter, the better. I think no less than 6 seconds, but I think 15 is like the magic number. Between 12 and 15 seconds, I would probably think that's the best way, because people would just not survive a long video. Another question, should I advertise more than one product or service in one video ad? Theoretically, you can. And if you're selling like a collection of products, or selling products that are related, I think that's okay. But if you are, try to make the products relate to one another, and not try to sell a car, an apartment, and plumbing service in one ad. Try to make the message, try to make the products make sense. Another question, is the library going to expand in the future? And that's definitely yes. The library is constantly updating. I think we're uploading about 3 new creatives daily. And you guys can definitely ask us and reach out if you want something that we don't have in the library, and the library is constantly expanding. You can email us at requests@vidoo.media, and our content team would be happy to create to help out with more creatives. I have another question. What's the most important thing in video ads? I think the most important is the first the message and then the visual. I think that if a great visual and bad message would not work, I think it's the you know the sum of all parts needs to be bigger than one. But I think that a great visual and a great message are the most important things. Another question for Marta. If you change the size after editing, will it keep all the changes I've made? Currently, no. If you change the size, it would go to the default state. But in the next release we're going to do I think in about 2 weeks, the changes you make in each size and each style are going to stay, so you don't have to redo all of the work you've done. Hopefully that will be live in the product in about 2 weeks. Another question, is HD important? I think not, but some people might disagree. I think that because most of the videos you see on social media are small, it's not as important as you might think. The thing is that since people are using mobile devices to watch social media now, and mobile device screens are getting better and better, there is some significance to doing renders in HD, and the sharper the image, the better the message. I think a blurry video would definitely work not as good as sharp HD video. All right, I hope I've answered all the questions. Anyone else? Okay, I think not. So if there are no further questions, we'll wrap this up. And I hope you guys have enjoyed and learned a bit. We will do more webinars in the near future. If you guys have, I hope you guys have enjoyed and learned something. Yeah, I see another question here from Marta. Will it be possible to change the shape in sizes and form? I'm not sure I understand. Do you mean the shapes of the elements in the video? Like the boxes. Currently, no, because that's a part of the creative. If you want a different design, you should choose a different creative. We have many designs to choose from, but currently we're not going to give the ability to change those as a decision. We want to keep the system as simple as possible. We don't want to overburden you guys with too many possibilities. We want to keep things short and sweet. There's another person say, why do you say creatives and not templates? We say creatives and not templates because we are not creating templates. We're creating creatives. Each creative in our gallery is very well thought of. We have advertising experts working on writing the right copyright, selecting the right images, selecting the right footage, the right products. There's a lot of thought going into each and every one of our creatives, and they are not templates. Templates are usually places where you say, type your text here or enter your image there. At Vidoo, you get something that is a whole product and has a lot of thought taking into the final creative. That's why it's not a template. Another question from Tia. Is there an undo button that can return only one step? Currently, no, but that's something we're working on. We're aware of, we have several requests from users, and hopefully that will be available within a month or so. Okay, so that's the last of the questions. And if you guys wanna have requests for other content you want to see on our next webinars, we are very happy to hear from you guys. You can contact us in the support email, and you can write us to the request email and chat with one of our support team in the chat box in in the Vidoo website or in the Vidoo app. So thank you guys. It was really fun doing this webinar with you. I hope to see you again in our next webinar soon. Thank you and bye-bye.